if you really like something, just be interested in it. Like, you don't have to only like one certain thing and be part of only one little subculture. It's like so cool to be dynamic and to be passionate about the things that you're actually interested in.
My name is Nathaniel, and this is the Motorcycle Archives.
You know, I've definitely gotten discredited in lots of ways of like, oh, you're just a cute girl or whatever, you know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, well, I'd be stupid if I didn't play into that, you know what I mean? It's more about like, I'm doing what I want to do. It doesn't matter to me if it's like a male dominated thing. I've gotten like talked down to lots of times and whatever, you know, you just kind of deal with it and like keep going, and just, I'm like gonna continue doing what I want to do regardless of people's opinions or outlooks. There's a lot of women who ride and who are doing things in like the motorcycle world. So I think people are it's more on the top of their mind. Also because it's like an older generation of people that are into cars. And I want those people at my shows too, but it's really fun to kind of expose that world to like younger women having cars, because they're always really surprised. Sometimes they're really receptive, sometimes they're all grumpy about it, but sometimes I've been able to get those guys to come to my events and they're like, oh shit, like this is cool, you know, seeing all these young people interested in old cars and bikes. If they're really in it because they love it, they're going to be excited that there's like a younger generation that is wanting to carry on this tradition, because it's like eventually that generation's going to die out, and if no one is carrying that on and like trying to revive the old cars and bikes and like carry that on to show their kids, then it's not going to exist anymore. And that's the whole thing, is like I want this to keep going, and that's a big reason why like I have my events.
Yeah, that's awesome, because like at the end of the day, like those are their like grandchildren essentially, like that are
Yeah, they could very well be.
They could be like, why wouldn't you want to pass it on to people?
100%. I feel like so corny saying this, but like motorcycles changed my life. My whole life revolves around old bikes and old cars now. I don't know what I would really be doing. I'd probably just be doing photo full time if I wasn't doing the shows, but honestly, doing the events is like really personally fulfilling for me. Like, it's really hard and it's very draining. It's a lot of work, but at the end of the day, it's something I really enjoy doing, that I'm passionate about.
That's something that I admire about you, is that like some of my favorite people are people who create something from the ground up and are willing to just, if it doesn't exist, they'll make it happen.
I had no experience doing events. I just kind of figured out what I needed to do and just started doing it.
I feel like if you think too much about it, you won't do it.
I get caught up in a lot of like, oh, I want things to be perfect, or I want things to be a certain way. Nothing's ever gonna be perfect. I got my first bike, which was a 1970 Honda CB350. I wish I still had it. It was so cute. It was red and white. Yeah, I had that bike for quite a while, and then I bought my Sportster that I still have now, that has like gone through a million different versions of itself. My parents were like pretty against it when I started like having an interest in bikes. They're like, I don't even want to hear about it. Now they're super supportive. I think they've seen me be able to like build a career with motorcycles and cars and stuff in the shows and the events, and they see how passionate I am about it. I think that's like another really fun thing to get to do, kind of these like commercial jobs, and you know, representing women riders as a whole is like really cool and really special to me, to get to like be the face of that in certain situations.
Yeah, I know, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool, like, cause like, you know, you have your specific style, like we all kind of do, like the bikes that we gravitate towards, or cars, I guess. But like you said, like when you ride different bikes, you realize like they're all kind of cool in their own way. Like even 100%. If I wouldn't buy this, like you could still appreciate it.
Just because you have a Harley doesn't mean you can't like the sport bikes or have both of those things. Like, it's cool if you have a dirt bike and a sport bike and a Harley, like whatever. Like, if you like all those things, then just fucking like them, you know?
Yeah.
Period. I've been shooting photos since I was like 15 years old, so more than half my life now, you know, and I've gone up and down with it, of just like loving it, hating it, being over it, having to shoot stuff I don't want to because I need money, like really made me fall out of love with photography for a long time, because it was just a job and it was like not personally fulfilling anymore. My road trip was the first time in a while I felt compelled to take photos. The beautiful scenery and the experience itself, I really wanted to like document it. I really hadn't felt that drive or passion or creativity in a really long time. So it felt really kind of like therapeutic to just like shoot these photos like for myself, for memories, like to share with my friends. That was like really nice to feel, because it's been quite some time since I really even wanted to take a fucking picture.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that I don't have to do it is that much better.
Yeah, it's like you have to like fall back in love with, or like learn the reason why you love doing this so much.
Yeah,
after working with it.
100%, 100%. It's like sometimes I even go to like car events and I'm like, oh, I should have brought my camera. I didn't even think about that.
I could relate to that though. That shit's exhausting. Like,
It is really exhausting, especially when it's like something you started because you really liked doing it, and now you're like, oh shit, like I'm depending on my income to do this. So now you're trying to find jobs and like it's maybe shit you don't even want to do, and then that becomes like the kind of hard moment when you're like, okay, well I still want to be able to make money doing this, but do I even want to do this job I'm getting hired for?
yeah.
You know?
That's why this started, is because
Yeah, it's like a passion
work.
project.
Yeah, because
And I think
there's so many limitations. I feel like when you're working, like you don't always have the creative control. Or,
yeah. Well, yeah, if you're shooting
Yeah.
something for somebody, like,
Yeah.
but doing stuff like this, it's like, okay, well, I think it's really important to create work that you want to get hired for, which I think people forget about because they get so lost in like just trying to find jobs to make money that they forget that like shoot the stuff you want to get jobs for. It's really cool to be able to ride with any of your friends because there's nothing really like it because you're doing something together, but you're all having a very individual experience, you know, and it's a very visceral thing. You're getting to kind of experience the elements, whether they're pleasant or not, I think is a really like cool added experience to any type of trip when you're on a motorcycle. I feel like on motorcycle trips, you always get into some shit, whether it's scary or like just unpleasant or just like the best thing ever. I think usually you kind of like span every emotion when you're on a motorcycle trip, and doing it with someone you love and get along with is, you know, kind of the best experience, and you really get to know each other on a trip, like a motorcycle trip or something where it's going to be quite difficult.
Yeah.
It's definitely not lost on me how lucky I am to get to kind of like fuck around with cars and bikes and like do cool stuff, and like that is my job and that's how I make my living. It always is crazy to me, like especially for Paradise, people will travel far from different countries, and like it's crazy to me that you want to like spend your money and come here and spend your time and your vacation like at this event that I sit on my laptop in my office or my living room putting on, you know, like I am so lucky that like I just get to have fun and I'm passionate about it, you know, because I know it could just totally not be that way.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's like the dream, you know?
It is
To
definitely
do
the
something
dream.
that you love.
It is a dream, and I'm very lucky, and it's sometimes really frustrating and hard, but like I really love it, and I'm passionate about putting on the events for people.